You know what the event I have now?
No.
A very big event. I'm going to see Rupert Murdoch.
Okay.
That's a big event. I don't know if he's thrilled that I say it.
Please tell him we all said thank you.
I'm going to tell him something very simple because I can't talk to anybody else about it. Don't put on negative commercials for 21 days. Don't put them. And don't put on their horrible people that come and lie. I'm going to say, Rupert, please do it this way.
Right.
And then we're going to have a victory because I think everyone wants to have
And
a
you're going to Outkick next. It's a great channel that we have with Tyrus.
All right, so that was this morning. Trump went on Fox News and made demands of Rupert Murdoch, the owner of Fox News, again, while he was on Fox News. And unsurprisingly, Trump demanded that Fox News never criticize him ever, as if they ever really do, because Trump is so incredibly thin-skinned that even the possibility of criticism is too much for him to handle. But in those moments when Trump thinks that Fox News could do a better job of licking his boots, he does get a little distraught. He does get his feelings hurt. So on Tuesday, he posted this on Truth Social. He said, does Ian Sams, Lion Kamala's special advisor, own Fox News? He is on all the time, as are so many other of her supporters. So ridiculous that Fox allows this to happen right before the election. We will win without Fox, MAGA 2024. And then on Monday, he wrote that Neil Cavuto has one of the worst shows on television and the worst rated on Fox News. The people on Fox News, on fake news CNN, are better, which is crazy. Wow. Also on Monday, he posted this. Lion Kamala Harris has wisely chosen Bret Baier of Fox News to do a much needed interview because he is considered to be fair and balanced. I would have preferred seeing a more hard-hitting journalist, but Fox has grown so weak and soft on the Democrats, constantly polluting the airwaves with unopposed Kamala representatives, that it all doesn't matter anymore. You get the idea. Sharon, let's just get some brief, quick thoughts on all of that.
I mean, what can you really say? If he were a comedian, well, if this was his only act, I don't know if it would be funny. It would entertain me for the first 5 minutes. I think when Trump goes on Fox and says the quiet part out loud, it's not even scandalous anymore. It's not scandalous because we've already seen the discovery from that huge $787 million settlement for lying repeatedly. So I think he probably will sit down with Rupert. They'll run the ads because they like the money, but maybe it's true. He won't be criticized for 21 days. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. What do you think, JR?
This guy's supposed to be the strong guy. This guy's supposed to be the leader. This guy's supposed to be one that's not too emotional and can handle world leaders. But he's just consistently going on Truth Social, I guess now, and complaining about Fox News. Again, he mentioned Bret Baier, who apparently, this is what I was saying when Bret Baier went on there. He's been noticing the anger and vitriol coming his way because he mentioned a couple of things that were true about Donald Trump to Donald Trump, him and Martha McCallum. So they're being way too soft on these Democrats that come on. I'm just looking for where, I guess, the courage, the forcefulness, the gravitas that they say this guy's got to deal with world leaders. It's just not there. He's very thin-skinned. He can't handle, not even criticism, he can't handle someone talking about him unless they're literally supporting and pushing him further towards whatever lies that he's telling. This is all that he's got. Like, okay, so what is it that you're proposing to do? Where does this fit into you running for president? Because this has nothing to do with running for the election. This has to do with complaining about someone else being on the network that you, I guess, hopes is going to be hard on them, but they're delivering too many truths without the folks on Fox News who are supposed to be journalists not pushing back and just carrying complete water for you, which, again, as you mentioned, they do about 90 to 95% of the time. So to show the fealty that he wants, it's not enough. He needs more. And I guess you have to ask yourself, is this really a leader?
I mean, you talk about saying the quiet part out loud, like he's acknowledging that Fox News is supposed to be good for Republicans and good for Trump. It's supposed to be basically his own personal network that he can use and, put it wherever he needs to. But that brings us to this week's installment of Trump Brackets, where you, the viewers, get to decide the worst thing that Trump has ever said or done. And it's a tough job sometimes. My hat's off to all of you who are participating. These matchups can get kind of tricky. But before we get into it, let's look at this leaderboard. These are the people who are currently in the lead to win a $1,000 prize and a bunch of Harris Walls swag. That sounds pretty cool. Y'all, it's tight. All right, we have in first place Soda Dragon Girl, Zion Hiker, and Used to Party, same, tied for first place with 86 points. Next up, we have Septic Saturn Dragon, not Septic, oh my goodness, Skeptic Saturn Dragon, Fire Breathing Dragon, and Chad, tied with 85 points. And then there is George, Blue Springs Populist, Holly, and Bill, rounding out the top 10 with 84 points each. So you can no longer fill out the brackets, but you can play along at www.trumpbrackets.com. So go check that out if you haven't. And with that, we're on to today's round. This is the last round of the Egregious 8. Next week, you'll get to decide between the final 4 or what we're calling the foulest 4. Very clever. But in order to get there, we need you to vote on these contenders. In the first matchup, we have saying his vice president deserved to be murdered versus threatening to target his political opponents if he's reelected. And we have a video for that. Let's take a look.
But wouldn't it be terrible to throw the president's wife and the former Secretary of State? Think of it, the former Secretary of State, but the president's wife into jail. Wouldn't that be a terrible thing? But they want to do it. So, it's a terrible, terrible path that they're leading us to. And it's very possible that it's going to have to happen to them.
Okay. And I'll let you guys respond in a minute. But for the second matchup, we have getting impeached for refusing a peaceful transition of power versus getting convicted of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records to affect an election. All right, JR, rapid fire. What are your choices?
From these two, it's the first one actually a little bit tougher between wanting Mike Pence to be or being okay with his supporters challenging to murder Mike Pence versus going after political opponents. I mean, it's hard to kind of not say someone being murdered is a problem, but I guess it leads to it both ways because at least Mike Pence did uphold the unpeaceful transfer of power. So I guess I'll go with threatening to target. I'm sorry, worse being that he wanted his vice president murdered. Let's go there. That's my choice.
And what about getting impeached versus the 34 felony counts?
Yeah, still refusing to the peaceful transfer of power. Yeah. Getting impeached over that. That's definitely one.
Well, all right, Sharon, what are your picks? What do you think?
Vote taken.
The first one, I'm not going to go with Mike Pence, and I'm going to tell you why. Mike Pence knew what he was getting into, okay? He was up under this guy. He called him the P word, too, before that happened. So Mike Pence is a big boy. I don't think it should have happened, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the other one, turning the military against civilians or whatever he said. For the other matchup, I'm going to go with 34 felony counts, right? Do I pick 2?
Sure.
And I'm going to tell you why, because I think that anyone could be impeached, okay? Bill Clinton, something about, depends on what the meaning of is, anybody can be impeached. So I think the convictions are more troubling. So let's go there.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Sharon on that last
bit.
A shame. Yeah, the impeachments, it's very flexible. You can get impeached if you just have a Congress who just doesn't like you. They'll find a reason to do it. But the 34 felony counts, that is pretty egregious, which is appropriate for the Egregious 8.
You know what's egregious? Is saying that you guys missed me and then I come on and completely disagree with my choice.
No, you were wrong. You can walk your dog after being impeached. Remember Bill Clinton did that and held Chelsea's hand. She was in the middle and they walked their dog. It was fine. They went out to dinner.
I remember when Clinton was being impeached, I was a kid in the 90s and I was very upset because every morning I would try to watch my Saturday morning cartoons and I couldn't because instead we have to watch coverage of the Clinton.
No.
I was
See
like,
what? You see how fast she turned on you, Sharon? You see how quickly she did that?
I'm
the
old.
Whole thing.
I wasn't watching Bubble Guppies.
I never promised loyalty. Okay, I'm just here to run the show. All right.
I have a meeting after this with Cenk Uygur, and I'm going to talk about the way that people talk about me on this network.
Please give him my regards.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.